the Palestine Solidarity Alliance is holding a rally this morning calling for an end to the killings in Gaza. A number of speakers will be addressing the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. Katleho Sekhotho is with the South African group that has taken to the streets. And you're standing by from Lenasia, Katleho Sekhotho, to tell us what's on the program for today.
A very good morning, Juju. Indeed, hundreds have gathered here in Lenasia, where the walk is about to kick off any second now, and hundreds have come to stand in solidarity with the hundreds of lives lost that continue to be lost in the Gaza region due to that conflict. But to give us more as to the organizational, putting this walk together, I have with me the president of Giwisa, a workers' union in South Africa, Mr. Sebei. President Sebei, thank you for speaking to us. Just tell us, the walk is about to kick off any second. What did it take to put this together and the significance of today's walk?
Well, this, one in a series of solidarity actions that have been taking place since the new round of escalation in the war for liberation of Gaza. And I think, this community, the Lenasia community, is one of many, in the country. There's one in Lodium, and I think many others. We had a demonstration at the U.S. consulate. The comrades in Cape Town, there were mass meetings in Poch, there were demonstrations in Durban, many others. So I think, as you can see, the community here has turned out in their thousands, and I think that demonstrates how absolute and overwhelming solidarity with the people of Palestine is in this country.
Now, Mr. Sebei, before we spoke now, you told me about people who are at this rally who've actually lost loved ones in Gaza, and people who know people and they're personally affected. Just can you tell me about the personal implications of this war as it relates to some of the people who are actually here today?
Look, from our point of view, we obviously, regret, the loss of life of ordinary people, since the war started. I think, even actually you can argue on both sides, right? We think that that's regrettable. However, we must be clear about the responsibility for this war. I was talking to one of the comrades from Gaza here, and he's saying to me that, 50 members of his family has been wiped out. And of course, the only surviving, person is a bloodied one-year-old child whose picture I showed you. This is a new friend I made in the past few days of mobilization. But his story is only of many. The friend of his actually just lost 13 members, and that was a few days ago. I can imagine that, the lives, the losses have increased on his side too. So this is the real and the human face of this tragedy. And we must be absolutely clear. This is really at the back of it about Israeli colonialism, about occupation, about the siege of Gaza, about the land dispossession of the Palestinians by the Jewish settlements that are illegal on the Palestinian lands. Is about the daily humiliations of the Palestinian masses, including desecration of their holy sites, the Al-Mosque and all those things and so on. That is not to say that there are not issues that could be raised about the strategy. I certainly, for one, do not necessarily agree, right, with the politics of Hamas, with the strategy, and I think everything that follows from that. But nonetheless, what I absolutely defend is the right of the Palestinians to fight for their liberation, and including by means of an armed resistance. That is a right due to each and every oppressed and colonized person everywhere. And that right is an absolute one.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Sebei. Thank you. Dudu, you heard it there from Mr. Sebei. I just want to show you behind me. As you can see, this walk is about to kick off any second now. and they will be walking around the areas. I think it's about a 5-kilometer walk, standing in solidarity with the hundreds of lives lost in Gaza, and making a big stand, staying united against apartheid Israel and the ongoing killings there.
Katleho Sekhotho coming to us from Lenasia in Johannesburg. Thank you very much for that update.